That's how they're seen.
The LiveAg Podcast, your source for livestock market insights, management strategies, and real conversations with those who don't just work in the cattle industry, they live it. Here are your hosts, deCordova and Casey Mabry.
Welcome once again to the We Live It podcast, part of the LiveAg video auction. I would like to welcome Wade Liest. That's
nice
right.
job.
Yeah,
He's been working on it.
Yeah, I've been working at it. And then we got Jimmy Lambert joining us here today. We're live in Shipshewana, Indiana for our first summer sale. We got a little over 15,000 head of cattle to sell today. We just kind of wanted to get on here a little bit and visit with Jimmy on about kind of what he has listed on here today and kind of how he got started. So Jimmy, if you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, but first we got to do something. What in the world has he got on his tie?
It's Wade. We shouldn't ask questions like
that. You reckon he bought that at a bargain shop or something?
Definitely at the flea market across the street.
It was at one of them auctions he got.
It was a garage sale.
He kind of got hung up there.
It was a garage sale gift.
Okay. I just seen the rifle down there. I thought he was going to go to shooting folks today or something. Anyways, Jimmy, kind of tell us a little bit about your family history. I know you and your dad and your brother, it's kind of a family business that y'all do there at the barn and the buying stations and all that stuff. And then you kind of ventured out to the video. And
you going to let him tell this story or are you going to tell the story?
Go ahead, Jimmy. Hold on, let me sit up so I can see you eye to eye.
So, Ty, started out working pretty much with my family in this business. Got out of Michigan State University beef tech program in the fall of 2010 is when I would have been my first fall season working in the cattle business, and worked for my dad with my dad. Then went to started doing a little order buying at Wade's Family's Market and a couple other markets in Michigan. Kind of the first thing I did before going to work for the video. You fast forward to now where I'm a little more solely working in the video market. On Mondays, I still travel to a sale barn that Wade and I both work at as auctioneers, doing a little trucking and buying there. But mostly now we're just on the video platform.
Oh, you get to work with the world champion. Oh, wait, you beat him one time, right?
I love to remind him about that 2013 Michigan Auctioneer Championship.
He wasn't the only one to ever beat me. He started a string of like 4 years in a row that I kept getting my butt kicked. But
he was always the bridesmaid.
We could tell.
Hey, speaking of which, so you get into your order buying part there. I like the story about your first order. Do you remember your first order, your first things you started buying?
Actually, if you go pre-college, I paid for my first pickup buying and selling goats.
I'm not going to go.
You didn't expect that, did you?
I didn't expect that.
No,
you kind of looked like well.
I still remember.
Nobody else wanted to do it. I was willing to go for it.
Pay for your truck, though.
It did. It really did. And I was 15 years old, and I had to hire someone to drive me in that truck and trailer around, picking up goats off of some goat dairies and going to weekly sales and taking some into a larger sheep and goat market in southern Michigan.
That's what's so unique, though, about this industry, though, is you can go back and a lot of people have stories like this, or how they got started. It wasn't just that they grew up in it, but they had a passion for it, so they started small. I know a lot of guys that are huge now that started buying baby calves. Yep. I mean, just trading baby calves, worked in the back of a sale barn, bought baby calves, and now they run 15,000 cattle. I mean, that's what's so unique about this industry. If you want to work hard and you want to get involved, put your hand to the plow and you can survive. But you got to get in there and do it. You can't start at the top. You got to start down there in the dirt. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's neat.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing that, working out back at a couple different sale barns. My dad managed a sale barn when I was coming up. I loved nothing more than getting back there and running cattle down the Pennon Alley. That was one of my favorite things to do. They had a monthly sheep and goat sale. I'd get out of school to go help with that, and they'd have me go in the pickup toppers and grab a lamb out and stuff. And I was a little smaller then, of course.
A little small.
Well, not much though.
I don't think he's much smaller because
I remember walking into so Clare County Stockyards is maybe, I don't know, 2.5 hours north here, probably something like that. I walk in and he's like 16 years old. He's like, "Hey, Wade," and he's getting like his goats and sheep sorted, and they're getting ready to start the sale, and they're in this barn. It's an old barn. And you're underneath the bleachers when you start sorting like that, and his head's like scraping against the top of the barn as he's like sorting these goats and sheep down there. And he's like 16 years old. I'm like, what is this kid doing?
I had plenty of naysayers when I was younger. I remember coming to your dad's market and buying feeder cattle and just feeling like I had laser beams pointed at me the whole time. And I think a lot of people expected some failure, and which was probably rightfully so. And it's a pleasure to look back at that and see that was overcome, and to fast forward to we're sitting right here today. It's incredible to me.
Yeah, it is. It's super cool. From a couple guys that, if we go to Fort Worth to an auction, everybody assumes we're from Texas, and then you get on a plane in Grand Rapids to fly somewhere, and they're like, "Where are you going? Are you going back home to Texas?" Like, no, we live in Michigan. Like, well, what do you do here? Well, I'm a livestock auctioneer, and he reps cattle, he markets cattle. He's also a livestock auctioneer. They have cattle in Michigan. Like, yeah, and you're going to see some damn good ones today too.
Really good.
Throughout the sale, you're going to see some of the best that there is to offer. But back when Jimmy got started, my dad runs a market. It's the northernmost market in the state, and there was some competition there. You got Jimmy going out in the country and putting loads together for video sales. We're thinking, man, those would be pretty good through the ring. But he took it to a whole nother level. Working with these producers that just appreciated the guidance, that he could offer, and putting them in the right market, doing what was best for them, not necessarily what was best for him, and always kind of putting them first. And I think that a lot of the producers in Michigan can credit him for helping get them to a good spot.
Yeah, not only does he get them in a good market, but he also helps them with the bull batteries and stuff too. I mean, you do some of that. You kind of tell us a little bit about, there's some of them guys here today that are going to participate in buying some of this stuff back on some of the bull markets that you help.
Yeah, so that has been a very incredible part of this process as well. I got involved with the Great Lakes Beef Connection bull sale several years ago. John hired me to be his auctioneer and also a marketing rep for the bull sale, and I've gotten a lot of my video customers to now purchase their bulls from John. And what is really nice about that is not only do I get to work for him as an auctioneer, but he does such a nice job that I can absolutely sell that product with confidence to my people. And I've seen him stand up and take care of business when it needs to be taken care of. They're going to be back in here bidding on calves today. And what more could you ask for from where you're purchasing your bulls?
I got one little funny story about Jimmy when he kind of first come on a video, selling cattle on the video. Was in, I don't remember, it was Iowa or somewhere selling cattle. And first time I ever seen him, I think, come walking in there, 7 foot tall, and I don't know if you ever met my dad, but my dad was probably 5'9", maybe 5'10". I'm sitting up on the block, and Jimmy's real passionate about what he does, and well, Dad was too. And there was a little friction that happened, and I looked down there, and my dad's looking up, and he's poking, and Jimmy's looking down. And I'm on the block. I'm thinking, Dad, that's a big fella. I don't. And they both kind of walked off, and the next morning everything was good.
Yeah, I've never forgot that day, and I tell you what, I gained so much respect for your father that next morning. He grabbed me right away. He sat down. He said, "We're squashing this thing. We're going to go on today and do a nice job," and that was exactly what happened. And that's one of those moments that you learn from and do not forget.
Yeah.
And
What did you do wrong?
Oh, I was really green. That's all I can tell you.
We don't have we didn't write the list down. We don't have the list down. But,
I was still pretty young in this yet, and learning a little bit about how sale day works at a video market.
Yeah. It's pretty quick learner though. When you got a little bitty firecracker looking up at you, pointing in your chest, you learn pretty fast. So,
I would, today I would like to kind of speak on some of the consigners that we have on the sale today. There's a couple of them in particular that I've had the pleasure of doing business with them for 13, 14 consecutive years. John Handel, the 6H Ranch, Andy Salinas, Elmwood Farm, Tim Andrews, Spencer Shunk. These are guys that helped me get started, that gave me a chance when I was very young. And, I look at that and I'm like, what compelled them to put their one paycheck a year in the hands of a 21, 22-year-old kid that's just getting started? And I've just always been forever grateful to them guys. And they have excellent quality cattle. They're going to be featured on this sale today. And they are going to really get paid off for, I think, investing in a program several years ago.
Well, I think they saw an opportunity, and they saw somebody that was working hard to make something happen, and was going to bring more than a regional market to their cattle. I mean, I'm sure it was a stretch. I'm sure it wasn't easy to talk to those folks and get them signed up. But I think when they see that passion, they see that opportunity, and it was really the first time they'd had an opportunity like that. Looking back on it, I'm not surprised that they hopped on board.
Yeah. They seen the vision, and they seen a young man that wanted to go get it. I mean, the hustle. So, and that goes a long ways. So
I do want to also give some credit where it's due. I've got a beautiful wife and a young daughter that wait around at home for me an awful lot.
Yep.
You know, I cover from a wide range. You know, Escanaba, Michigan, which is somewhat western Upper Peninsula, all the way down to Fort Wayne, Indiana, is a pretty big spread to run back and forth in some weeks, and they're keeping the home fire burning, and I can't thank them enough for allowing them to let me chase my dreams. This is a dream.
yeah, it takes. I noticed you didn't put the mic. Yeah, I didn't put it over there. You did this one guy though, who your traveling partner. BR.
Yeah, I also have a great crew that helps me. Obviously, we're selling enough cattle that we're not making every single delivery, by myself. So we do make sure that someone on our team is at every delivery. We don't let cattle ever get loaded without a team member there. Brant Butzer, or BR Butzer, is a very important part of my program. He's loading cattle down here in Indiana every single week. My younger brother Wyatt covers a lot of deliveries, and they both video a lot of cattle. They get along great with the customers. The customers like them coming by just as well as myself, I feel. And without guys like that working alongside me, I would definitely not be able to build this to where it is today.
Well, that's awesome. You got an awesome story. You got great customers, great cattle. I mean, we'll see some of the best cattle in this part of the country today that we sell today. So, anything else you want to mention before we get going here?
Probably should talk about Justin. He's going to get his feelings hurt if we don't mention Justin.
That is a really good idea, Wade. And that's, one thing about here at LiveAg, their partnership with United Producers. Wade and I both work for Justin on Mondays. He's the manager of their St. Louis, Michigan branch. And Justin also is a tremendous team player. He's been to some deliveries. Him and I are able to rep some of these cattle together here at LiveAg, and that's been a wonderful opportunity. I think it's actually brought more business to the table when him and I can get shoulder to shoulder and go to some clients together and put some deals together.
He's not going to be shoulder to shoulder. Maybe
eyebrow
kneecap to kneecap.
Eyebrow to shoulder or something, but it ain't going to be shoulder to shoulder. They also do a deal there this fall. I think it's the Photorama deal that they do that we're going to broadcast. I can't remember the date.
It's the end of August this year.
It's the end of August.
That's an annual sale UPI has done for a long time. It's always been an incredible market.
And they sell short loads and big loads and kind of whatever. It's a pretty good deal. And we went to it last year and visited and watched it. I think we're going to broadcast it live this year from the sale barn there on LiveAg, and kind of give that opportunity as well. So that's something to, if you're up this area and you're looking for a place to sell a short load, even that would be a good spot to even contact them guys and get signed up for that thing.
Yeah, there's a long-time reputation for that sale, and it's actually one of the things, I give Justin a ton of credit for. He followed kind of one of the legacy guys in this industry. Scott Acker had run the St. Louis market for a long, long time, or was at least helping run that market for a long, long time. And I think he started the Photorama sale, and that's been going on for 25, 30 years in that ballpark. So it's been going on for a long, long time. Well, when Scott passed away recently, Justin came on board at St. Louis, and I mean, he's 25, maybe 26 years old, and had to come in right away and learn not only a system, but learn that video auction, or that photo auction, and get started and kind of really earn his keep in a pretty quick manner. So he's done a really good job. He's been a good partner, I know, for Jimmy on these things, and he's been a good guy to work for as well.
Yeah, good deal. Well, Jimmy, we thank you for being on. I know you got a busy day today. We better let you go to get some of your rat killing done. Wade, thanks for joining us today. As always, the former has been world auctioneer. World auctioneer champ. Because you and him confuse national, world. I don't know what it all means, but we thank everybody for joining us today, watching. Once again, I want to remind you, deadline July 15th for Boise sale that's on July 24th. So if you want to consign to that, go to live-ag.com and find your local rep, and he can get you consigned to that. We should have a really, really good, strong offering of calves and feeder calves on that sale as well. So thanks for joining us today. Tune in at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on channel 233 or live-ag.com. We are on the Cowgirl channel today, so we have made that move. So tune in there to watch it live on TV, or live-ag.com to watch it on the internet. So, and don't forget, hit subscribe, hit like on our YouTube and our podcast channel. We sure appreciate everybody. Now, once again, I want to thank the ladies behind the scenes. You got Katie and Margot back there. They're always giving us hand gestures. If y'all ever want, if y'all ever see us kind of hesitate and look back there, it's because Margot has done something special, or Katie is doing a countdown or something like that. So, or they're mouthing, yeah, they're doing something like that. So, well, once again, thanks for joining us here. We Live It, the LiveAg podcast. Hit like, hit